Hi, and welcome to Positive Relationships. My name is Irene Atia and I'm a Christian counsellor. Over the next few episodes, we're going to talk about something called attachment and attachment theory. Attachment theory talks about how we as children related to our primary caregiver or our parent who was looking after us for the majority of our childhood. It usually focuses on the first 5 years of life. But research has found that those 5 years have actually painted a picture of what a lot of us do once we're in relationships as adults. So over the next few weeks, we're going to look at what attachment is, how it impacts us, and the various styles of attachment. And for those of us who may have had unhealthy attachments as children, how we go about resolving those unhealthy attachments so that we can have healthy, secure, and flourishing relationships as adults despite our experiences as children. So first, let me explain what attachment is about. Attachment is about basically how we as children engaged with and related to our primary caregivers or our parents. For the most of us, that would usually be our mother in our first 5 years of life, because for a lot of people, that's the person that would have spent the majority of the time with them. However, for some, it could be other caregivers, such as a grandparent or a father or a relative that was taking care of them for the first 5 years of their life. What attachment is about is how our needs were responded to in those first few years. So if we were raised by a person who was responsive to us, who attended to our needs, so when, for example, as a child or a baby, they cried, they were picked up, given affection, spent time with, when they were hurt, they were dealt with empathy and understanding and care, as opposed to being neglected or not cared for or not being responded to emotionally. When we were responded to in a healthy way, we were able to actually use that secure base that is the relationship between us and our primary caregiver to go out and explore the rest of the world. You can actually see this on a playground. If you can ever go to a children's playground, you'll find that a lot of times children will play around their parent, go out and play for a bit, come back, and then go out again. That cycle of going back and forth is about exploring with and while using the parent as that secure base, that safe place that they come back to and get love and attention and affection and a sense of security and courage to go out and do some more exploring. And just like that's true on the playground, it's also true for our emotions. That secure base is that person that allows us to explore our emotions. So if we grew up with a person who was responsive to us, we were able to go to them as children and later as teenagers and even possibly later as young adults and talk openly and honestly and freely about our emotions and be able to explore any uncomfortable or difficult times that we would have gone through with that person being the person that is secure and safe for us to go to. If that happens, we grow up with a safe and content, and we also grow up knowing that we're okay and the world is okay. We have a sense of security and a sense of confidence about us and about our relationship. It's those early attachments, it's those early relationships in our life that actually form the basis of our adult relationships, including our marriages. And it's really important to know what happened in our childhood as we actually explore this attachment styles that we're going to talk about. In brief, there are 4 attachment styles. The secure attachment, which we're going to talk about, the avoidant attachment style, the ambivalent attachment style, and the disorganized attachment style. They don't sound like much at the moment, but each of those are signs that as children we were raised differently and we were treated differently by our caregivers. And although no one has a completely perfect secure attachment with their caregiver or their parent, because ultimately we are raised by human beings who make mistakes, we fall somewhere in that spectrum between that healthy, secure attachment that allows us to grow up feeling safe and secure and have a healthy self-esteem and trusting in the relationships that we enter into, or to the other extreme of a disorganized attachment style where we actually feel unsafe, unable to connect with other people because we're constantly fearful of relationships that we enter into. Over the next few weeks, we'll explore each of these 4 attachment styles in depth, and we'll be able to look at what they mean for us in terms of our marriages and our adult relationships, and how we can go about resolving some of the issues we may have experienced in our childhood attachments. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time on Positive Relationships.